I built, I flashed, and there was no keyboard and mouse. Now, to my surprise, the reason for that was that EVDEV was not enabled. So the idea is to go ahead and make sure that it is enabled. I already did that. I can show you like quickly. I'll open like a devshell here. If you don't know Yocto Project, you can take my course and I'll teach you like a lot of tricks. But this is basically, what I could do is do like make -c menu config, and there's also like a config me, but you can just do like make, do bitbake. Virtual/Linux, and then like I did here probably with the devshell, and then -c menu config. So if I do like a devshell, I can see that I will get to the kernel source, but it should be something like this. The output would be this fellow, okay? If we do printf, we'll see a lot of things like the sysroot and all this kind of other nice things. But long story short, most of them will be, if we are now in work shared, because like it's source, then the work itself would be under like temp work and then some things. So we don't need to really know too much where it is, although of course I do. If I look at the build, then we can tell that it's under the very specific variant of Qualcomm ARM v8A, which makes sense because I'm building a kernel like with its desired flags and so on and so forth. But if I do like the menu config task and it's a Linux Yocto, I will not talk about like the difference between upstream and downstream. And upstream means like Linux kernel, downstream means the Yocto project Linux kernel. It is an upstream for me right now, right? But for the Linux kernel, it is downstream. So basically, if I go here, I will see that we should have like some config fragment. So there it goes. And you can see here that these were my addition. Kconfig, because I wanted to make sure, I like to have proc when I debug, proc config.gz, and config input evdev equals y. So I will not say now way too much about these things, but if you run like a Weston and input does not work, and you don't understand why, and you don't have some shared desktop configured, which is also something that needs to be configured, and maybe I'll do either in this video or like another video, then you actually need to go ahead and make sure that you do have this. So that's exactly like what we do here. And then if we build a Yocto again, you will see that you do have like mouse and keyboard in Weston. So just to to be sure that the build itself would be under standard, under this fellow here. And if we like grab fdev in config, then it magically appears. Okay, so we could basically go ahead and extract this output directory, use it regardless of Yocto, build, package it, and so on and so forth, but it's not something that we're going to do. So like if we rebuild it, we reflash the boot image, and then we should be fine. We can also reflash like the root fs, but since I just put here like with a y and not like a module, then this will be working. So this is one nice thing. Now I could go and show you some other like configuration tricks and so on, but I will not do it right now because I don't want to reflash and the root fs. If I change like the kernel version, then I will need to rebuild like all the modules, which is not so nice or ideal. So while this filming is not so amazing, you can see that right, my mouse is over there, and I can click all kind of things. I don't think you can see the typing, but I also type all kind of things, which is nice and it's not bad. Okay, so just setting the input works. So this illustrates, little unexpected kernel things that you might need to do, even for something that should just work out of the box. And from here, you can start adding some other things, and it's nice.